Thank you for such a kind welcome. It's such an honor to be here. As mentioned, my name is Sharan. I lead product at Yoodli, which basically means I spend my days talking to really cool and interesting people like all of y'all and learning about from these stories to see, hey, how can we build Yoodli together? My goal from there is to take these stories and help anyone and everyone speak with confidence. There's far too many people in this world who get left behind because they simply don't back themselves. From the immigrant who immigrates from Malaysia, who's in a job interview, but doesn't know it's appropriate to look at someone in the eye. And as such, doesn't appear confident and maybe doesn't get the job. Or to that kid in the back of the classroom that's so shy about not fitting in, even though their head is bursting filled with ideas, they don't answer the teacher's question when they get called on. Or to that introvert who's finally landed that first date with their crush, but can't find the words to say anything and is so afraid of saying the wrong thing, they say nothing at all. So many of us have been here in these positions, and I have too. In high school, I was terrified of speaking up. I was that kid in the back of the classroom. I go straight into class, walk to the very back, I put my hood on, I put my headphones in, and I do everything I could to avoid attention. And even if I did get called on, I generally knew what was going on in class. So I had the ideas in my head. But when I tried to say them, it never came out right. Luckily for me, I had a teacher, Mr. Sharan. After I had to give a presentation in class one day, he told me that I crafted great narratives and just needed to find my confidence. He helped me after school. We participated in activities similar to what we do in Toastmasters meetings, and he helped me find the love in my voice. I fell in love immediately after that and started doing business competitions, pitching and presenting everywhere I could. I went and spoke in front of my entire graduating class of over 550 students. And I even gave a TEDx talk before I graduated. And now here I am today. The goal with Yoodli is to help that immigrant or to help that student in the back of the classroom or to help that introvert find their love and confidence within their voice. And we think that technology can help. Who here has heard of Grammarly? Okay, awesome. Few of y'all. And how about Duolingo? Not as many, but that's all right. Grammarly and Duolingo have smashed it. For those who don't know, Grammarly makes it really easy to understand and ensure that you're communicating your written text effectively by helping you check your grammar and word choice. Duolingo makes it really easy to learn languages using games and technology to augment that experience. The goal with Yoodli is to do the same, but for speech. Now let's be super, super clear. Yoodli will not replace the human speaking experience. It will not replace the Toastmasters experience. And it won't replace the individual speaking experience, right? Yoodli is an AI speech coach. And AI is a scary word, but speech is so emotional. It's so deeply, deeply human that it can't be replaced by artificial intelligence. But what we can do is make it easier for us to learn and to augment our experience of finding that confidence within our voice using technology. And that's why we work really closely with Toastmasters world champions like Ed Tate, Craig Valentine, Mark Brown, to ensure that as we build out this technology, we build it with humanity and humility at its core. Okay, that's enough of me blabbering on. Let's show y'all what Yoodli actually looks like. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me know if y'all can see this okay. Is that visible? Okay, lovely. And this should be a very familiar looking page. I'm going to sign in here. So as a Toastmaster member, I go in, I sign in to my homepage. Once I'm here, to get to Yoodli, I scroll down and hit the Yoodli tab. Now, Yoodli has an exclusive partnership with Toastmasters International to create a custom version of Yoodli free for all Toastmasters members. So that's what this is. This is how you access your custom Toastmasters version of Yoodli. Once you get onto the Yoodli, you're greeted with a few things. You've got a few tutorials, some featured speeches, a warm welcome from Matt Kinsey, International President. Let's assume that I have a really big speech coming up tomorrow. And maybe it's like 11:30 p.m. at night and all my friends are asleep and I'm really nervous and I want to practice, but I really want some feedback. Well, what I can do is historically, I would maybe pace around my bedroom and try and give myself feedback or go to the bathroom and record myself in the mirror. But with Yoodli, you can use AI and record directly onto the platform to get instantaneous feedback. So what I do is I go to the practice in the top right corner, I'd hit speech, and boom. Does anyone have a topic they want me to speak on? I'll speak about anything for like a minute.
Books.
Books. Okay, lovely. Books. To many, a childhood artifact that took them to different worlds. To some, a constant in their life. But to everyone, an ability to learn, get lost, and grow. I grew up reading books almost every day. I'd spend every second out of the day after I got home from school reading all of the library books that I picked up from that day at school. I would have so much fun getting lost in series such as the Magic Treehouse series, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. It was such a wonderful time. And somewhere along the line, it kind of disappeared. Now I'm going to speak really fast and use a lot of filler words. So like, you know, books, after middle school, when social media started to be a thing, I kind of stopped reading books because I was just so enthralled by like what was going on in technology, and it was so distracting and so gripping. And I started just completely ignoring books that I had in my bookshelf for ages, and instead just spending a lot of time on YouTube and watching Netflix. And I really wish that there was a time where I went back to reading books, because now I really, really enjoy it. And I miss that I've missed out on so much in middle school. Okay, lovely. Let's pretend I've just given my speech and I'm like, that was okay. It could be better, but what feedback does Yoodli have for me? Well, I hit save recording and I give it a second and refresh this page. So you can see I've got an instant replay of what I just spoke, so I can go back and watch myself. Books. Just like I'd be able to if I recorded it on my phone or elsewhere. I can also go in and say, hey, I just recorded something. I want to share it really easily with my friends. I can go hit share, copy a link, send it off to my friends. And now y'all are my friends, so y'all have access to this and you can go view it. And then you can see as soon as it's loaded, we've got an instant transcript of everything that I said. So I can go back and read what I wrote, what I spoke, as well as some analytics on the right side. Now, these are interesting. We've got an counter that says, hey, how many times did you use filler words? Looks like I had 8 filler words. Not great. Should do a little better there. They were all kind of bunched up right in there. Looks like I had books as the top keyword. This is the most frequently used word in my speech. What about my pacing? Oh, wow. Look at that. I started off kind of slow, got a little fast, cut back down, and then whoosh, jumped right back up. Interesting. Where was I when I started to speak really, really quickly? Oh, interesting. So right when I started talking about middle school, I started to speak way, way, way fast. That's good insight for me to now know when I go back and practice around this section, I can tone it down just a little bit and be a little more patient. Yoodli gives you the ability to get instantaneous, judgment-free feedback on your speeches. So you can go in and practice and use AI to give you that feedback so you can improve. And then once your friends come in, or you can go and present it at work or in a meeting or whatever it may be, you feel confident and ready to go. There's a few other things that are fun with Yoodli. On the left bar, you could hit the play speaking games button and you can go in and play a few games. These games are really, really fun. No filler is how long can you go without saying filler words. So it's a timer. that goes on and on and on. You can add which words that you use a lot. Spin a yarn is really fun. It's a really fun way to practice speaking on the fly. It'll start by giving you a topic. Let's see if I can play this for you. It'll say, hey, here's your question. And as you answer this question, you have to add all of these words that pop up. It's quite a bit of fun. Yoodli has a few other interesting things. You can jump in here and, as I mentioned, play games. Or let's imagine you've got a really big presentation or interview coming up. You can even go in here and practice interview. And what our AI will do, will say, hey, I want to practice with my own questions, but I want to ask AI follow-ups. And I'll show you what this looks like real quick, and then I'll open it up to questions. So let's imagine I'm practicing the canonical tell me about yourself question. Turn on my camera and I can start. Hi, my name is Sharan. I lead product at Yoodli. Yoodli is an AI speech coach with the goal of helping everyone and anyone speak with more confidence. I am incredibly motivated by spending a lot of time with people who maybe don't feel as confident about speaking up. Those really sharp people, those really sharp friends, the ones who get left behind because they don't have that confidence and aren't able to share their ideas. I'm really excited by helping them with AI and technology and hope that we can do so. It thinks, and it says, oh, interesting. What inspired you to create an AI speech coach? So using AI, we detect what you said and then ask you a follow-up question. And then at the end of it, you get those same rich analytics that you saw previously. I'm going to pause there and open it up to questions. And thank you for having me.
I had a question for you, Sharan. Thanks very much for being here today. It's
Yeah,
great
no
to see you
worries.
again. I'm so happy you could make it.
Absolutely.
The question that came up for me, I didn't realize the capability was there for Yoodli to give me feedback questions. How extensive is that capability? Because I'm talking along and when I stop, somehow or other it knows a leading question to give me.
Yeah.
Say a little bit more about that. How does that work?
Yeah, you're talking about this, the interview portion, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we do is our AI takes what you said in your previous answer and based on that asks you a follow-up question similar to what you would have in a job interview. And so that's how this works. If you'd like, I can get into the nitty-gritty of the AI model itself. That's a little confusing, but how can I further help answer that question?
If I answer the questions correctly, can I get a job at Yoodli?
Who knows? Maybe one day that becomes our interview process. But no, it's the goal is a lot of people, specifically English as second language speakers, are really good at practicing for those structured questions. The tell me about yourself. Tell me about a time you experienced difficulty at work and how you overcame it. But what throws them off is there's often follow-up questions that they're not prepared for that are based on their answer. And the goal with Yoodli was, hey, how can we provide an ability for you to practice those follow-up questions and feel confident when they come up on a job interview so that you're able to answer them effectively?
Very good. Impressive.
Liz has a question.
Yeah.
Are the games set up that you can play with other people, or is it just one person?
No, so we've actually had who was it? It was a district in Australia started hosting Yoodli game nights where they'll have everyone come together in a room and they'll have like a potluck and everything, and people will jump on and they'll play Yoodli games together. The best way that we found playing games virtually is everyone logs into their Yoodli and then they'll share their screen when they're up and practice playing those games while sharing their screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anna, this is, we have a number of members that are non-English speaking, so this would be really great for them. Is there a tutorial that you can follow? I mean, I am not a computer person, so I mean, I could follow you, but I know I have to kind of get into it and start to practice. But we do have a number of people that English is their second language. This is so perfect for them. Is there a tutorial?
There's a whole slew of YouTube videos that I think useful. And let me send a link to one of the playlists in chat here. They're a little outdated, just based on like the exact look of the product. We updated this last few weeks, and these videos are a little bit older, but the general synopsis of how you get to things and how you use it should be there in those videos. So that's the best way to go about that.
Kathy Michaels.
Thank you. My question is there opportunity for cumulative feedback? You know, like over the year, I've decreased my filler words from 50 a minute to 1 a minute.
Great question, Kathy. Coming very soon. We are working on that as I speak.
Are there any other questions? This is so amazing. I did not know. I thought Yoodli was like Chat GPT, where it's going to write your speeches for you. This is a whole different thing. And I kind of want to leave the meeting right now and go play with it, but I won't. But I'm really excited.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you all for having me, and thank you for the kind words.
I wanted to say, I really like the analytics. They're very specific, and that really helps the person, especially for our non-English speaking. They really get to the point to what they really need. I'm really surprised at what it does. So just, yeah.
I like how the recording of how fast you go and where you kind of broke your pace, and you can really analyze that and work with that. This is amazing. In fact, I have a small Toastmasters group meeting tomorrow. I'm bringing my laptop. We're playing with Yoodli.
Oh, awesome. So glad to hear that.
That's amazing.
I see that analytic with the words is perfect for if you are looking at your timing, especially for a contest, because it tells you where the words are. And if you're timing where you're going off, that's perfect. I see so many advantages for Toastmasters. It just really fits.
If we wanted to use it for a filler words analysis, during the meeting, we have 3 speakers. Can we run it for each of the speakers and get an ah count and an count for each speaker?
Yeah, definitely.
Set it up 3 times, or how does that work?
So it's not something that you can do. Let me take a step back. So the version that I've showed you all today is the Toastmasters specific version of Yoodli. We built this customized for Toastmasters members via the Toastmasters partnership. Now, that being said, there's a public version of Yoodli that's open and accessible for everyone to use. That's completely free. And on the public version of Yoodli, there's, actually, let me see if I can just show you all. All right, so this is the public version of Yoodli, and let me send this in the chat as well, just so you all have it. In here, you can sign up, sign in. And then once you're in here, there is an online meetings tab. What's happened here? Oops. Why is my computer being all finicky? Apologies, give me just a quick second. There we go. Okay, lovely. So within Yoodli, there is a tab called Yoodli for online meetings. And what you can do is add your Zoom link directly to Yoodli. And what will happen is, let's say I add the Zoom link to this meeting, I hit join call. We'll see there's a new participant that joins this meeting called Sharan's Yoodli. Let's give that a second. It should pop up unless there's a waiting room. That may limit it from.
No, I eliminated the waiting room.
Oh, you know what it is? You don't have the ability to work on Zoom links that require registration. That's what it is.
Okay.
It needs to, it's a computer. It can't register. It doesn't know how to put in a name and do all that good stuff. In the off chance that there are meetings that aren't used with registration as a filtration mechanism, you can add your Zoom link, and Yoodli will record the entire meeting and give feedback to everyone as they speak. I can show you what this looks like. I did this for Husky Toastmasters. And we can see, oops, let's actually go here. We can see all the transcript. We've got a video as well as analytics for all the speakers. So I can look at my analytics. We can look at specific people's. I don't want to dig into their analytics just because I don't think that's appropriate, but that's what you can do with Yoodli Public.
Now, I have a question. I'm not this club. This club that I'm in is all on Zoom, but I'm in another club that's hybrid, and we have the Zoom set up. People are in the room, but everyone stands in front of the computer to speak so that they're on the Zoom.
Yeah,
Could that work? The same setup?
it's a little challenging, largely because the way we say, hey, this person spoke at the second, this person spoke at the second, is based on your Zoom title, where we say, oh, because the audio is coming from Sharan's computer, it was Sharan's portion. So it gets a little confusing because all the analytics for each of the different people get mixed together.
Okay, but if we knew, like if we had the agenda and we knew the speaker one was, Brenda, then could we go back and just analyze it?
Yeah,
I'm not going
absolutely.
to say the Toastmasters Club name because it's on the club account, but we could go back and analyze the individuals.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Sharan, then are you available for other clubs or?
Absolutely.
Because we do have a hybrid. I'd love for you to come in and show this because, as I said, we do have quite a few that are non-English speaking. How
Yeah.
can I contact you to set that up?
I've just put my email in the chat, so feel free to shoot me an email and I'm happy to put something together.
And Sharan, where are you?
I'm in Seattle.
Okay. Okay, this is just amazing. I am so excited about this.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I know I'm well over time, so I want to be conscious of the rest of the agenda.
I do
Are
have one
there-
question, if I could ask it. One, it's a little bit off topic, but I'm curious, how are you monetizing your business? Are you going to be around a long time? Are you needing income? You looking for grants? What's going on with monetization?
Great question. We are not monetizing right now. Our goal was to do what Grammarly's done, where they built a product, they got it to as many people as possible, and then made sure that it was adding value. And then eventually build some fancy AI features and have like a $10 premium version or something like that. That being said, the Toastmasters version of Yoodli should always be free or at least heavily discounted just by virtue of the partnership. But also like we likely won't be looking to monetize for a year or two. So
And your company's privately held, and what's the name of it?
Yoodli.
Okay,
Yep.
privately held, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Are there any more questions before we move on with the meeting?
Sharan, thanks so much.
Beth, I think has one quick question. You're on mute, Beth?
Yes, do you have a version in any other language?
Not quite, but hopefully very soon. That is on the goals for the near future.
And I know why Beth asked that question. She's in a bilingual club, English and Spanish. So this could help the Spanish speakers as well as the English speakers going back and forth.
Very cool.
Okay, thank you so much.